Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to Rise Up Yoga. I'm so grateful you're joining me as we continue our journey through the Light Seers Tarot. Now go ahead and take the next minute or so to find a comfortable cross-legged seat on your mat, and then we'll get going. Today we're going to move with the energy of my neighbors as we explore card number 7, the Chariot. Now working with this energy taps us into willpower and determination. And for me, these energies are strengthened by taking action from a place of inspiration rather than from a place of feeling like you need to do something, which only creates heaviness and resistance. Now, the more we can learn to listen to and trust our inner guidance, the more we can be confident in ourselves and the actions that we're taking. And this confidence and trust is captured really well in this particular illustration, which is why I just love it so much. He knows where he's going. He's keeping his vision at the top of his mind, staying alert and aware so he stays on track. And he's trusting these energies or these horses to guide him where he wants to be. Now, this confidence and trust can keep us on course even when challenges arise, because then we can more easily move through these challenges in a really loving and empowering way. So before we get moving, let's just go ahead and come into this center point on our mat. Feel free to close your eyes, relax your shoulders, relax all the muscles of your face. Start to connect to your breath. And then I invite you to reflect on any ways in your past that you may have disempowered yourself. By saying yes to things you may have really wanted to say no to. By taking action only to appease others. By deprioritizing yourself and your needs. Start to notice how these feelings of disempowerment arise in your body. Allow yourself to sit with those feelings, any discomfort it may bring up, and just be with it and notice. Now, through today's practice, we're really going to focus on transmuting any of these disempowering energies into those that build more confidence, empowerment, and inspiration within us. So let's all take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale as we release anything that we're ready to no longer hold on to. Take another deep breath in, really expanding through your belly, opening through your chest. And exhale as we release. One more time here together, deep breath in. And exhale. You can go ahead and flutter your eyes open. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And on an exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So bring your left fingertips behind you. Bring your right fingertips to the outside of your left knee. And then start to open up towards the left side, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Feeling this opening through the torso, really connecting to our core now and many times through the rest of the practice. Connecting to our solar plexus chakra, which is that center of willpower and confidence. On your next exhale, you can come back to center and then keep your movement going as we twist to the right. So right fingertips come behind, left fingertips to the top of that right knee. And then we find this gentle opening, connecting to the breath. On your next exhale, you can come back to center. And then go ahead and uncross your legs, bringing the soles of your feet together. Start to connect to your body in a really loving way, maybe giving your feet a little massage. Maybe starting to find some movement through your hips, taking some movement forward and back as we just start to warm up through the body. If you need to rotate and face towards the top of your mat, go ahead and do that now. And take one more moment here to yourself. On your next breath, you can go ahead and close your knees as if you're closing a book. And then gently rock forward onto your toes. Then bring your knees about as wide as the mat, big toes to touch. And then come to rest gently on your heels. Find the way to the middle of your mat if you're not there already. Go ahead and release through your shoulders. Inhale to reach your fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale as we release forward, coming into a child's pose. You can bring your forehead to the mat. Reaching your fingertips up to the top of the mat, spread your fingers wide, and then just really come into this pose of surrender, of allowing. Taking some moments in stillness before we really find more movement throughout the practice. Sometimes taking action is knowing when to slow down, knowing when to take a pause, to take a breath. Let's go ahead and start to connect to our Ujjayi pranayama, which is our warming breath, our breath of empowerment that we can refer to throughout the rest of the practice. So go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose. As you get to the top of the breath, pause, bring your tongue to the back of your throat and slightly constrict, and then exhale through the nose. Let's go ahead and do that again. So deep breath in through the nose, pause, tongue to the back of throat, and then exhale forcefully through the nose. You can imagine you're making this ocean wave sound with your breath. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in. Pause. And then exhale. Again, this is our warming breath. So really using this breath to ignite this inner fire, to build some heat, some warmth. Take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, you can slowly start to lift up. We're going to meet in a tabletop position very briefly, so spread your fingers wide. Once you get here, go ahead and tuck your toes. And then on an exhale, lift your knees and your hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take just a moment here to pedal out through your feet, lifting one heel and the other as we find this gentle movement and opening through our body. On your next inhale, you can take your gaze forward. Exhale to step one foot up and then the other as we come into forward fold. Make sure your feet are about hip-width distance. You have a gentle bend in your knees. And then you can just go ahead and relax, letting your hands hang heavy, letting the weight of gravity sink you towards the earth. Start to feel this connection to the mat, to the earth beneath you, this connection to your body. On your next inhale, you can clasp your hands together behind your back and then reach those up towards the sky, towards the top of the mat as we find this gentle shoulder opening stretch. Take one breath and then exhale as we gently release, allowing our hands to come back to the mat. On your next inhale, slowly start to rise, moving from your core as we come up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time with this movement. As we come all the way up, you can reach your hands up to the sky, really feeling this opening through your whole body. And then exhale, we can bring hands back down to heart center into Anjali Mudra. Take another deep breath in through the nose, really reaching through the crown of your head. And then exhale, start to sink your hips back as we come into chair pose. Take your gaze down, make sure you can see all 10 of your toes in front of your knees. Really engage from your core so you have this really strong and stable foundation. Relax your shoulders, relax all the muscles of your face. Start to feel this heat within your legs rise. Take another deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, twist to the right. So bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. And then press through your palms as you open up and rotate towards the right side of the mat. Make sure your left knee is still in line with your right. So again, feeling this heat within our core, within our legs. Stay strong, stay with it. We're building confidence within ourselves. Take another deep breath. Start to bring your weight into your right foot. And then on an exhale, you can slide those left toes back gently, gracefully, as we come into this high lunge, still twisting. Take a pause, take a breath. On your next inhale, you can lift your hands up to the sky, coming into a high lunge. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips and slightly back. So you start to feel this opening through your entire front line of your body. Really feeling this connection from feet all the way up to your fingertips. On an exhale, you can bring your hands down through center. Go ahead and frame your foot with your hands. And then start to walk your right toes, your right foot out to the side of the mat. Right toes will be slightly off, heel slightly in. As we come into this runner's lunge, you can adjust your feet. So you want to make sure your hips are square towards the top of the mat. You can slide your left toes back as much as you need and bring your hands down below your shoulders. Now find your expression in this pose. So you can either be here with knee lifted or knee lowered. Just honor your body where you're at today, whatever it is you need in this moment. Trust that whichever one of these poses, variations that you choose is the right one for you. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Okay, from here you can start to walk your right toes back towards center. And then once you find this connection, this grounded connection, you can take a next inhale to reach your fingertips up to the sky, coming into this low lunge with your back knee lowered. Inhale to take your gaze up towards your fingertips, really feeling this opening through the hips. Feeling this heat, allowing it to burn away any limiting beliefs, any negative thoughts. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring your hands down through center, framing your foot, and then start to straighten through that right leg, bringing your toes to face towards you. On an exhale, you can bring your forehead down towards your knee and chin in towards your chest. Really coming into another one of these poses of surrender. So what can you allow here? What can come up for you? How can you release more into this pose with your breath? And then you have some options here. You can either start to find some gentle movement, bending and straightening your front leg, or you can find stillness in either one of these poses. So again, just take it as an opportunity to listen to your body, listen to what you need, and to make this practice creatively yours. We'll be here for a few breaths. You can repeat some mantras to yourself here if you'd like. I make confident decisions. I trust in myself. I trust in where I'm being guided. I honor my body and my needs. Okay, take one more breath wherever you are. And then we'll meet back in this low lunge. From here, go ahead and lift your back knee up and then step it in just a foot or two so we come into this pyramid pose. Now find your alignment here. You want to make sure your hips are square towards the top of the mat. Your left toes will be pointed towards the left corner of your mat. And then once you find your alignment there, on your next exhale, you can bring your forehead towards your knee, chin in towards your chest. Take 2 breaths. Okay, from here, start to engage through your core. And then as you do so, on your next inhale, slowly start to lift up. As we come up, you can shake out your shoulders a little bit. Start to bring your weight into your right foot. On your next inhale, lift your left knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then on an exhale, we're going to come into a figure 4 shape. So bring your left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Open your left knee towards the side of the mat. And then as you're ready, on your exhale, you can sink your hips back. Stay engaged with your core to help with your balance as you sink your hips back until you start to feel the stretch through the left hip. Take your gaze out in front of you. Find a drishti, a non-moving focal point to focus your gaze on. So really maintaining our balance with confidence, keeping our core strengthened. Feeling this connection from our foot to the mat to help keep us grounded. You can bring your hands to heart center. Take one more breath. And then on your next inhale, lift it back up, knee back into chest. On an exhale, we're going to move into warrior 3. So start to press your left heel towards the back of the mat, straighten through that left leg. And as you do so, hinge with your hips slightly forward. Again, core strengthened and engaged. We're working to get our left leg and our torso about parallel to the mat. So just go ahead and play around. If you fall out of it, just come right back into it. Have a little fun. Take one more breath wherever you are. Stay strong. Reach that left heel up to the sky. And exhale as we slowly release gently and gracefully down to the mat as we come into this high lunge. On an inhale, you can reach your fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, open it up to warrior 2, just briefly. We're going to continue this movement to the back of the mat. So on your next inhale, scoop your right fingertips down, rotate towards the back of the mat. So now we're in a high lunge, face towards the back of the mat. And then again, find some soft, easy movement here. We're going to just find some movement back and forth. Finding some freedom and expression here. If you'd like, moving your hands, rotating your wrists. Just start to find some movement that feels good to you. Find inspired movement for yourself, whatever that means to you. Make sure you're connecting to your breath through this. Connecting to your body. Not worrying about what anybody else is doing, just what feels good to you. Go ahead and take one more round of breaths. Finding this gentle movement, and then we're going to face towards the back of the mat in this high lunge. From here, on your next exhale, you can step your right foot up to meet your left. Relax your hands by your side. On your next inhale, bring your hands to heart center. Make sure your feet are about hip width distanced. And then on an exhale, you can sink your hips back as we come into chair once again. Take a look down at your toes. Again, find your alignment, find your core strength. Relax the shoulders. Connect to your breath. Feeling that aliveness within our legs, within our bodies. Take another deep breath in. And then exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Press firmly through your palms, opening towards the left side of the mat, really opening and twisting through our core. You can imagine as if you're wringing out a sponge, wringing out any of those things that you no longer need to hold on to, any insecurities, self-doubt, opening to more confidence and passion. Start to bring your weight into your left foot, and then exhale as we slide those right toes back as gracefully as you can, coming into this high lunge with a twist. Pause here for a moment, really press your palms together so you can get this deeper opening through your body, through your torso. On your next inhale, start to reach up, reaching your fingertips up to the sky, high lunge. And exhale as we bring those hands down towards the mat. Start to scooch those left toes off to the side, left toes slightly spilling off. Coming down onto your palms, you can slide those right toes back a little bit more if you need to find proper alignment for yourself. And then again, either come down to your knee or stay lifted. Yogi's choice. You always have a choice, so it's about making empowered decisions for yourself so you feel really confident in the choices that you do make. That just comes with practice. Make sure we connect to the breath. Letting our breath be our guide through practice. Letting our breath come first, then movement follows. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then you can start to walk your left toes back towards the middle of the mat, coming into this low lunge. On your next inhale, moving from your core, you can lift up. Again, you can reach your fingertips up to the sky, feeling this opening through the front body. And then exhale as our fingertips come down towards the mat, straightening through that left leg, toes towards face. Then lastly, our forehead to knee, chin to chest. Really flowing with our movement. And again, take the next few breaths here to either find some stillness or find some movement. How can you make choices here that really inspire you, that really fuel that fire of passion, of excitement, of determination? I at least think that comes from making decisions for yourself. Take one more breath wherever you are. And then we'll meet in this low lunge. All right, from here, bring your back knee off of the mat and then step it in just a step or two as we come into pyramid. Make sure your hips are square, so adjust your back foot into position as needed. And then from there, you can bring your forehead towards knee, chin towards chest. Take a few breaths. Okay, from here, start to engage through your core. And then on your next inhale, you can slowly rise. As we come all the way up, reach your fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, you can release them down, bring them hands to heart center. Start to bring your weight into your left foot. And then on an inhale, reach that right knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, send yourself some love. And then on an exhale, we can come into this figure 4 shape, right ankle to left thigh, right knee opening up towards the side. So really find this opening in our hips. And then on an exhale, sinking the hips down, taking your gaze slightly out in front. How can you find a little more confidence in this pose? How can you find some more balance? Stay strong and steady with your breath. Relax your shoulders. Find that inner smile or outer smile. On an inhale, you can lift it back up, bringing your knee in toward your chest just briefly. And then exhale as we fly that right foot back. Coming into warrior 3, take your time with this movement. There's no need to rush. As we straighten through that right leg, toes pointed towards the mat. Torso parallel towards the earth as much as possible. Hands to heart center. We're breathing, we're staying steady and strong. How's your inner dialogue? Is it encouraging, supportive? Take one more breath, you can do this. Meet your edge. And then on an exhale, those right toes can come down towards the mat slowly. Inhale to reach your fingertips up to the sky. And exhale as we open it up to warrior 2. This time we're going to just meet in the middle of the mat with toes pointed slightly out, heels slightly in this wider stance. Now on your next inhale, you can bring hands to heart center. Taking a pause, taking a breath. Maybe starting to feel your heartbeat. Feeling that connection to your fingertips on your chest. Noticing how that feels in your body. Maybe taking an exhale through the mouth, releasing any of that heat. Take another deep breath in through the nose, really reaching through the crown of your head. So finding this elongation, this expansion. And then on an exhale, keeping our core engaged again, we're going to sink our hips down as we come into horse pose. Sink your hips down as far as you can. Really feel the strength in your legs. Feel how strong and capable your body is. Take your gaze slightly out in front of you. Relax your shoulders. Really find that opening within your chest that's really going to add to your confidence within this. Take just 2 more breaths here. Stay strong. You can find slight pulses up and down if you need. And then on your next inhale, you can lift it up. Release your hands. And then slightly walk your feet in just a little bit so they're slightly more than hip width distanced. Again, toes slightly out, heels slightly in. Once you're here, you can bring your hands to heart center once again. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale as we again sink our hips down, move slowly, move with your core. As we come all the way down into Malasana, As you come down, you can press your elbows towards your knees, pressing your palms in, finding some soft movement side to side as we start to wake up through our ankles. Finding some breaths, really connecting to body, to earth, mind, and spirit. Take one more breath. And then exhale. You can sink back onto your hips just slowly. And then just come into an easy seat once again. Taking a moment to give yourself a little massage, show yourself some love. As we're going to move into crow pose and practice our crow pose and our balance. Now this pose can bring up some challenges, but the more that we practice this pose, the more that we can be more confident and trustworthy of ourselves, while also strengthening our core, which is what the Chariot is all about. Now, if you have any hesitations surrounding crow, just know that's okay and it's perfectly natural. But this is an opportunity to leave any of those insecurities, those doubts, those hesitations in the past and to try something new potentially, to move into this with confidence, excitement, trusting and knowing that I will be here to guide you into safe alignment. All right, if you're not already faced towards the top of your mat, go ahead and scoot your body there. Come more towards the back of your mat so you have plenty of space in front of you. Go ahead and close your knees like a book and then start to gently rock forward onto your toes. So we're coming into this little toe ankle stand. Bring your big toes to touch and then bring your palms out slightly in front of your shoulders. Spread your fingers out wide. Make sure your hands are about shoulder width distanced. On your next inhale, reach your hips up to the sky, straightening through your legs. And then as you exhale, you can bend through your elbows, making a little shelf. And then bring your knees to the tops of your biceps, really getting them in as close to your armpits as you can. From here, you can start to lean forward slightly, starting to put some weight, some pressure into your fingertips and into your knuckles. Make sure during crow you are keeping your gaze slightly forward and engaging your core. So as you start to lean forward, you can lift your right toe off the mat, put it back down. Then go ahead and lift your left toe off, put it back down. You just play around with how that feels. You can relax a little bit if you'd like for just a moment, and then come back into it. This time as you lean forward, you can lift one toe off and then the other if you can. And then just take the next couple of moments here to play around, whether that means you're here in Malasana, opening through your hips, whether you're getting one foot off of the ground or both. Just honor wherever you're at today. Allow yourself to have some fun with it. How can you meet this challenge in a really positive, loving, and empowering way? Make sure you're breathing through it. Take as many tries as you'd like. We'll be here for 2 more breaths, so enjoy the moment. Okay, wherever you are, go ahead and come out of this pose. If you ever want to practice it again, you can always come back to this class and just play around with it. Start to sit onto your hips And then we'll reach our legs towards the top of the mat. On your next inhale, you can reach your right knee in towards your chest, give yourself a little squeeze, and then drape that foot over your left thigh. From here, you can bend through your left knee, bringing your left heel towards your right hip. So we're coming into this pose. You want to make sure both of your hips are square, touching the mat. You don't want to be leaning too far to one side or the other. If you find this pose is too much for your hips or your knees, you can always keep that left foot straightened. So just choose the pose, the position that feels the best for your body. Inhale as we reach through the crown of the head, lengthening through the spine. And then exhale, bring your left fingertips behind you. Right elbow comes to the outside of that right knee. And then we press open, taking our gaze towards the back of the mat. Again, finding this opening through our hips, this opening through the torso. Take another moment here to connect to that solar plexus chakra. Again, with some affirmations, you could say to yourself, I confidently move through life with ease. I meet my challenges with love. On your next exhale, you can come back to center and go ahead and gently come out of this pose the same way you came into it. And then go ahead and switch your feet. So right leg out long, left knee in towards your chest. Drape that left foot over you. And again, that right leg can stay long, or you can bend it. Bring that heel towards your hip. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you twist. Right fingertips behind you. Left elbow to the outside of that leg. Take your gaze slightly behind you. And then just pause and breathe here for a few moments. All right, on your inhale, you can slowly release, coming back to center, coming out of this pose gently. And then you can scoot your hips up if you need to on your mat, as we're going to lean all the way back on our backs. So go ahead and find the positioning that's right for you. On an inhale, we'll reach the fingertips up. And then exhale as we slowly come down one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down to the mat. From here, you can reach your knees towards your chest, give yourself a squeeze. And then exhale, allow your arms to lay along by your side. Go ahead and take your knees towards the left side of the mat. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale to bring your knees back to center. Gaze to left. Inhale back to center. couple of last movement, whether that's into happy baby, into plow pose if that's what you'd like. Just go ahead and listen to your body, finding some rocks forward and back potentially. Finding joy in this movement. Finding movement that feels right for you and your body. All right, and then as you're ready, you can go ahead and slowly release into Shavasana. Really taking up space on your mat. Your arms long by your side, palms faced up. And then we'll just take a few moments here. Allowing, being, noticing. You can start to find some soft movements in your fingers and your toes. You can feel as you'd like, but if you're ready to get going, you can fingertips over your head. And then go ahead and choose a side to roll onto. Coming into fetal pose just briefly. And then you can start to press yourself up. And then we'll meet in a cross-legged seat, ending the practice where we started it. As you come into this cross-legged seat, feel free to close your eyes. Bring your hands to heart center. Let's all take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale. As you move through the rest of your day or your days ahead, I invite you to start to notice where you take action from. Are you taking it from a place of love, gratitude, inspiration? Are you doing things because you feel like you need to do them, or because you're really inspired to do them and you want to do them? Start to just notice what makes you feel empowered, and just allow yourself to move towards those feelings of empowerment to strengthen yourself and your confidence in yourself and your decisions. Thank you all so much for showing up with me today. Your light and your love are so appreciated. the light, the love, the teacher in me, honors and reflects the light, the love, and the teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for showing up and flowing with confidence with me and our horse friends today. If you want to support the growth of this channel, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. Next video will be tuning into our lion spirit and finding some courage as we explore card number 8 for strength. So I'm excited to see you all there.